It's Nolan. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know from the jump, man. It brings me no pleasure to report on this story and talk about it, but this is what's going on in the news today. This is a bombshell. Just to go ahead and clear some air first. Y'all remember when old girl from Danity Kane came out? What was her name? Aubrey O'Day. She came out and she said that she knew something major was finna come out on Diddy. He's been getting all his affairs in order. She said that he's been doing all these charitable things, switching his name to Love and getting all these accolades and lifetime achievement awards and stuff for the last 2 years. She said he's been doing all of this because something major was coming down the pipeline. I didn't know it was going to get this bad. I thought this was going to have to do something with Keefe D and his thing. He still might get roped into that. But now we have his ex-girlfriend Cassie coming out with some serious, deadly, major allegations. I'm not going to waste no time, man. Let's get into this whole situation. This is crazy. And to make sure that I'm not mincing my words and not putting my opinion on this thing, I'm going to read this directly from the New York Times, right? Not going to play with it, not going to play with it. As of today at 4 o'clock p.m., they say Sean Combs, the producer and music mogul who has been one of the most famous names in hip-hop for decades, was sued in federal court on Thursday by Cassie, R&B singer once signed to his label, who accused Mr. Combs of SA and repeated physical abuse over about a decade. In the suit filed in federal district court in Manhattan, Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, and had long been Mr. Combs' romantic partner, says that not long after she met him in 2005, when she was only 19 years old, he began a pattern of control and abuse that included plying her with drugs, striking her, and forcing her to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes while he filmed the encounters. In 2018, the suit says, near the end of their relationship, Mr. Combs forced his way into her home and once again SA'd her. I'm telling y'all, man, these are some really tough, really rough allegations coming in. She's coming in hot. She says, after years in silence and darkness, I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who faced this violence and abuse in their relationships. Now, of course, Diddy, aka Mr. Combs, as labeled in this article, his lawyer, Mr. Ben Brafman, he says Mr. Combs is vehemently denying these offensive and outrageous allegations. For the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has been subjected to Miss Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, Miss Ventura has now resorted to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking a payday. However, on the other side of the fence, we have Cassie's lawyer by the name of Douglas Wigder. He said that the parties had spoken before the suit was filed. Mr. Combs offered Miss Ventura 8 figures to silence her and prevent the filing of this lawsuit. He says she rejected his efforts. So now we have opposing stories, right? Diddy's legal team says that she's trying to extort him, blackmail him for $30 million. Cassie, on the other hand, said that she spoke to Diddy to let him know, hey, I'm moving forward with this thing. You're about to go down. It is what it is. And she's claiming that he offered her an 8-figure payout to keep this silent. Miss Ventura's case is the latest in a series of SA civil suits filed recently against prominent men in the music industry, which include Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, the executive L.A. Reid. I didn't even hear about that. God damn. Neil Portnoy, the former head of the organization behind the Grammy Awards. This is some crazy shit. Mr. Portnoy has denied this allegation. Mr. Tyler and Mr. Reid, however, have not responded to their cases. Now, as for Diddy in this article, they go on to talk about all of his accolades, finding the Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, getting his net worth up to about $1 billion, annually earning $90 million, all of this good stuff. But yet, despite all of these great things, this lawsuit depicts him as a violent person who, beyond repeatedly assaulting Cassie, he asked her to also carry his gun in her purse. The suit suggests he was responsible for blowing up the car of a rival suitor. So someone else wanted to spend some time and date her. He blew their car up. And this is a very high profile person that we're going to get to very shortly. Okay. In one incident, the suit says Mr. Combs dangled a friend of Cassie's over a 17th floor hotel balcony. It sounds like this man is Suge Knight 2.0. In naming additional defendants, the court papers assert that others who worked with Mr. Combs had helped him to control Miss Ventura, at times by threatening her with retribution, such as suppressing her music career if she did not obey the orders, or by helping to conceal his behavior. The suit, which names Mr. Combs as a number of associated companies as defendants, she's seeking unspecified damages. So there is a cash payout that they want in some form or fashion. According to her suit, she was swept into Mr. Combs' jet set lifestyle not long after meeting him and signing with Bad Boy, which released her debut album in 2006. Again, she was 19 years old. The suit says he soon began to assert an extraordinary level of command over her life. In addition to controlling her career, he paid for her car, apartments, and clothing, and even had access to her personal medical records. Remember, she came into the industry dating Ryan Leslie, right? Ryan Leslie was a few years older than her. He was producing her music, writing her songs. He was the mastermind behind all of the music, which I guess is why she hasn't had any other music to come out since then. Diddy snatched her up, right? Said, hey, man, thanks for your services. Get the fuck out the paint. I'll hit you up when I need some beats. And then it was a free-for-all from there, allegedly. So at this point, you know, Ryan Leslie, he was doing well for himself. He was a multi-platinum producer. He was coming up, you know what I mean? But he didn't have it like Diddy, right? He wasn't able to take care of this woman, this young lady, the way that she was looking forward to. And at this point, Diddy starts paying for her to get a car, luxury apartments, high fashion clothing, right? Tailoring her image to become the model that she became, all of this different type of stuff, hoisting her up. But behind the scenes, it sounds like he was also pulling her down simultaneously. Now back to these medical records. According to the suit, the results from an MRI scan she had for memory loss, they say is possibly caused by drug use or a physical beating that she took, suffering at the hands of Mr. Combs. Now, I saw earlier when this story came out, someone on Twitter said that the asymmetric cut that she had, half bald, half long, they claimed that he had pulled some hair out of her head and she decided to shave the rest of it in order to make it look fashionable. I don't know how true that is. That's just a Twitter person. He said he had heard this for years. I'm just saying it may go in tune. It may go in tune with this MRI story. And being that she did take this MRI and he had access to her medical records, she never had access to the results of the MRI. They were sent directly to Diddy. Okay, this is what she's alleging. So he was able to conceal any proof of wrongdoing. Mr. Combs also provided Ms. Ventura with copious amounts of drugs, including ecstasy and ketamine, and urged her to take them. He often became violent, physically imposing himself upon her multiple times per year. The suit says Ms. Ventura never went to the police because she feared it would merely give him another excuse to hurt her. In one incident in LA back in 2009, the suit says Mr. Combs became enraged when he saw Ms. Ventura talking to another talent agent. So she was trying to get out of the Bad Boy deal at some point, or maybe she was just trying to get other representation to help her financially do her thing. She alleges Diddy came up, pushed her into a car, and then proceeded to romp her with his feet. Okay, I'm trying to be very cautious with how I use my words. According to the suit, Mr. Combs then had his staff bring her to a hotel room to recuperate for a week. She asked to go home to her parents. He denied. He said, no, you can't go. The suit says that after seeing the violent repercussions of rejecting him and to the extent in which he would isolate her from her support network, Ms. Ventura felt that saying no to him would cost her something: her family, her friends, her career, or possibly even her life. And though she tried to leave him, the suit says he sent employees to lure her back every time. In one incident described in the court papers, Ms. Ventura says in early 2012, Mr. Combs grew so angry about her dating the rapper Kid Cudi that he had threatened to blow up his car. Around that time, the suit says Kid Cudi's car did actually explode in his driveway. Okay? Through a spokeswoman, Kid Cudi has confirmed to the New York Times that his car was indeed blown up, allegedly by Diddy. A few years into Ms. Ventura's relationship with Mr. Combs, the suit says he began coercing her to engage in a fantasy of his called voyeurism, okay, in which she was directed to have sexual relations with a succession of male prostitutes. While he watched, proceeded to stroke his genius, if you know what I mean, and took photos and shot video of the scene. According to the suit, Mr. Combs called these encounters freak-offs, which involved costumes like masquerade masks and lingerie. They continued on for years, taking place at high-end hotels across the U.S. and in Mr. Combs' homes across the U.S. The suit says that he instructed Cassie to search the websites of escort services to procure male sex workers. So she's alleging that he actually made her go out and choose these men from websites, right? Drugs were supplied at these events, which her suit says she took because they allowed her to dissociate during these horrific encounters. So she's admitting that she took the drugs. After a while, she got used to it, and she used them as a form of getting away, like blanking out and letting it happen. According to the suit, she would delete these videos from the incidents that had occurred, but Mr. Combs would ensure her he still had photos and videos backed up. So there's no way of getting this out. Okay, there's no way of getting away from this. If you ever try to play me, you ever try to get away from me, I will leak this shit, is basically what she's saying he was doing to her. The suit says, due to the fact that she was having these encounters in multiple cities and states, they're saying that she is a victim of trafficking. The suit also accuses him of battery, SA, and violations of New York City's gender-motivated violence law. Her suit also includes several accounts of unsuccessful attempts to leave. In one example, the suit says during a freak-off at a Los Angeles hotel in 2016, Mr. Combs intoxicatedly put his hands on her face. He rapped her at the time, which gave her a black eye. He fell asleep and she tried to leave the room, but he woke up and followed her into the hallway where he threw glass vases at her, sending glass shattering through the corridor. The hotel security cameras actually captured this incident, but the suit says Mr. Combs paid over $50,000 to retrieve this footage. Court filing says that in 2018, after her and Diddy met for dinner, he forced himself into her apartment and forced himself upon her while she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away. After that, the suit says she left him for good. So this is when their breakup occurred. Ms. Ventura married Alex Fine, a personal trainer, the following year and now has 2 young children. According to the complaint, her association with Bad Boy also ended in 2019. So she's seeing greener pastures. Unfortunately, I hate that she had to go to the white man to do so, but hey, long as you got away. Now, as for Miss Cassie's case, like other recent SA lawsuits, it's being brought under the Adult Survivors Act. Okay, this is a New York law that allows people who say they were victims of SA to file civil suits after the statute of limitations has expired. The 1-year window to bring cases under this law ends next week. So this is the final window that she was going to have to submit this case, because after next week, this law will be abolished. She says with the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I have experienced and that I will be recovering from for the rest of my life. Now, I'm just going to say, whether or not you believe this, it really doesn't change anything, you know. It's going to have to move forward. The feds are going to get involved. They're going to open up an investigation. They're going to look into all the evidence that she has, all of her accounts, see if she has any witnesses that can corroborate her story, right? This is going to play out. It's going to get messy. But again, like I referenced in the beginning of this video, Aubrey O'Day did come out just about a month ago, and she said there's a reason why all of this stuff is happening. All these accolades and awards. Yeah, he's gearing up to try to clear his name because something major was coming. She didn't say what, right? Again, a lot of us thought, okay, maybe the Keefe D thing was going to come. No, Cassie brought out the chopper. It's the chopper that she been holding on to for about 15 years. Actually, 18. God damn. So we're just going to have to see what happens. You know, stay tuned, stay locked in. And depending on how this thing goes with the feds, Diddy might end up staying locked in as well. Let me know what y'all think of this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates. And I will see y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Why I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no gunner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.